Well, hey, Bill, how you doing?
I'm good. Garrett, how you been?
Hey, we're rapidly approaching springtime, warm weather, outdoor concerts, and I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Man, oh man, we could have been out on the patio last night for open mic, but the weather is. But there was a danger of thunderstorms. I didn't want to be out there, but the weather's nice for it, you know.
Well, today we've got our last episode of the season for the guest list. We've got Caleb Caudle.
Caleb Caudle. I've been high on him since I saw him open for Hayes Carl 3 years ago, I guess. Went up to Chicago, and Doug Winters and I went up there and checked him out, and I thought he was fantastic, and I was right.
Doug Winters, one of our board members, great taste. Him and Chris, they usually can't lead you astray too far.
I don't know anybody who sees more shows than them.
That's right. Shout out to Doug and Chris. Well, let's talk about Caleb. My thoughts on the guy are what a career. He's not a old guy. Still,
no, he's
right in his prime.
He's in his 30s, I think.
Yeah, he's just cruising along, checking off all the coolest things you can do. And he's got his own team made up of his own family, working right out of his own house.
I should say, like right out of the gate, I don't know if I stuck my foot in my mouth exactly, but I didn't really convey what I was trying to convey. I was talking about Caleb and how he's opening for all these different people who I think are awesome, like Steve Earle and et cetera. And see, he very quickly actually didn't really correct me exactly, but he's like, yeah, I had a headline my own shows too. And I was like, yeah, I didn't mean you didn't. I just I think it's really cool. I saw him opening for somebody the very first time I saw him, so I thought of him in that context, and he really has, like you said, checked off some of the boxes that I would love to check off myself, like playing at the Grand Ole Opry and et cetera, et cetera. I mean, what a cool career he's having, and he's doing it on his own.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't say all on his own exactly, but he owns all of his own masters. I think his wife's very involved in his career.
They just launched their own record label.
Yeah.
Handplow Records.
Yeah, so he has to negotiate with himself.
That's got to be tough. Well, you guys had a great conversation. He's got great songs, a great voice that reminded a lot of Dana Anderson, actually.
Yeah, he spooked a lot of people in the room when he opened his mouth, man. I saw it on people's faces. But yeah, beautiful voice.
Well, I wouldn't want to speak for you, but the kind of stuff that he's doing and he talks about in the show it makes me a little jealous of the guy.
Yeah, well, I try not to think of it that way, but yes, absolutely. He's doing the thing, man, and good for him.
It's fun to talk to him about it, and you guys had a great conversation.
I was glad he took some time out of his little tour to come over and play with us.
Yeah, well, let's hear Caleb Caudle from North Carolina on today's guest list.
Welcome to the guest list, presented by Poss Music Works, a 501c3 not-for-profit bringing music and musical events to downstate Illinois. We'll talk to songwriters and learn about what makes them tick and how they came to write their most popular songs. It's where you've always wanted to be, on the guest list. Here's your host, Bill Poss.
All right, folks, welcome. You are right where you've always wanted to be on the guest list. Our guest today from North Carolina is Caleb Caudle. I met Caleb. He was opening for Hayes Carl in Chicago, and he played a Fred Eaglesmith song, and then I went, and I was really impressed with him, and I was like, man, this guy's really good. So I went to talk to him on the break and introduced myself, and we started chatting, and he ended up playing at the Moccasin Creek Festival the following summer, and we look forward to having him back sometime. We're not scheduled for anything right now except for this, but we look forward to doing that. Maybe we can do it in 2027. We did get him there, and I've been watching him do really cool stuff with like Steve Earle, touring with Steve Earle, and touring with, who else you been touring with?
I've done some dates with Elizabeth Cook, Ray Wiley Hubbard, and then a lot of headline stuff, a lot of festivals and stuff like that. Yeah. Overseas.
Yeah. But touring more than most.
More than most. Yeah. Thankfully.
get on the thing. Microphone thing.
Sorry, we're so it's
It's casual.
I know there's only 50 of us here, but it just feels so close.
Yeah. So, well, cool. Yeah. And I've been watching your career, and you have a real professional team. That's like really unusual for people who are sitting in that chair to have people who, I mean, some have had that, but you're approaching it like in a way that seems like it's bound for success to me.
I think so. I only have so much bandwidth, and so
Right.
I did it all by myself for a really long time, and then my wife Lauren started helping me with everything, and she works in the industry outside of my thing now. And so, yeah, I just kind of slowly started building a team around me, a manager and some agents, and
Yeah.
it's really helpful. I mean,
That's what I meant by
Yeah.
a team is
Yeah.
management, booking agents, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So,
publicity, all that stuff. Yeah.
and yet you were still responsive to my message to you. So thank you for that.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. It's funny. We were talking earlier. I like big stages and I like really, really small stages and everything in between. So it's all interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, you're on the smallest stage of this tour, probably.
This tour, yes.
So anyway, let's get started with the song.
Cool. So I don't really, probably like a lot of artists that sit in this chair, we don't really understand what the word popular is when our songs are mentioned. But I will say that the songs I chose tonight are songs that are always in my set. And if I don't play them, then usually people are like, hey, why didn't you play that song? So I chose those songs. Whether they're popular or not, I guess you can ask my parents. This one's called Red Bank Road. I wrote it when I was 19. I'd written a lot of songs already at that point, and they were really bad. And I knew that because when this one came along, I stopped playing all the other ones. And I just started playing this one, and then I started adding to it. So all the songs that came after this, it was a big like catalyst moment for me. It was like the new, I guess, standard, if you will. But anyways, it's called Red Bank Road, and I wrote it when I moved away, and I sing it for my family.
Eastern sky, reminding me of better times when I was young and I was unafraid. I was innocent until I moved away. It's easy to forget where you come from when the smoke and lights start to leave you numb, and longing for that old oak tree shade when the noise becomes an endless parade. Thinking about what I miss the most: bottles, backboards, and the Holy Ghost. Tobacco fields carved out by red dirt roads. I could lose myself for miles and miles, still feel at home. I miss my father for his firm handshake and the way he'd ache after a long day. My mother for her dark brown eyes and a graceful hand and a perfect smile. There's a house down on Red Bank Road. My great-grandfather, he has some golden soul. He makes the most out of his last days, and the Lord stops everything just to hear him pray.
When I listen to your records, I think that you sound your vocal styling and even your phrasing and stuff reminds me of Kieran Kane. Are you familiar with him?
No.
Check him out. He's great. That's high praise. I hope you take it that way when you hear him. He's
Cool.
was in the O'Kanes. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, but you also have a voice that reminds me a lot of an old friend of mine, Dana Anderson.
Really?
Yeah. When you
I don't
started
know
singing.
either of these people, so that's...
Well, Dana helped us start this podcast. He was a great songwriter, and he's no longer with us. But
Oh, man.
anyway, that really struck me during that particular performance.
Thank you.
I love that line about God stopped, or the Lord stops to listen when he prays. That's
It's
like
like
such
the-
regard.
Only the type of drama that a 19-year-old could bring, I believe.
But it's sweet regard.
It is.
You know, like
It
that's
is.
a healthy thing at 19.
And honestly, the line's true. I mean, my great-grandfather, I knew him till I was 20. He lived to be 103. So he was awesome. Like, really, really nice person, helped everybody out, that kind of guy. So, yeah, his name was Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that? Did you grow up in the area where you live now? Is that where you
Exactly.
grew up? And then your grandfather and great grandfather, all them?
All right there. So, I thought that situation was really normal. I grew up, the town's called Germanton. There's like no stoplights, nothing really going on there, just like me and some goats. And so my whole family, they lived on that road, Red Bank Road. So I knew I wanted to like honor them with that. And I still do that to this day. I ended up recently, I came up with my own record label. It's the first time I'm doing that. I've got a record coming out in June. And so it's called Handplow Records, and it's a tribute to my great-great-grandfather. Had this single horse plow, and I see it every day. It's in the yard across the street from my house, and they were just really adaptable. I mean, they lived through the Great Depression, and I remember hearing stories about that growing up, and it always just like really stuck with me.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I think you know that this is my grandparents' house, and my great-grandpa lived next door.
That's cool.
So I've had that same sort. I mean, I grew up right there, so it's
Yeah.
like that same feeling of.
You have like vegetables on your front porch at all times in grocery bags. I feel like we always had like somebody was like leaving like a vegetable.
My dad had an organic truck farm, so
Nice.
we mostly the backyard, but yeah,
Nice.
cool. Well, that's a lovely song. Let's hear another one.
Sure. I'll do one that I wrote riding along the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is, if you haven't had the chance to do that in North Carolina, you should do that. It's just its own thing. So it's like it's government
number?
owned. Yeah. So unfortunately, it gets really slow to clean up sometimes if there's a bad storm, but such is life, I suppose. But I wrote this. It wasn't me and my wife's first date, but it was really close. Our first date was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, front row center,
Wow.
because I knew a guy. that was the only reason. But it's like a really hard date to top. So this was like the first time we like left town, and we went and cruised along the Blue Ridge Parkway, and I wrote this song. She didn't know I was writing. Little did she know I was going to be doing that forever. And so I had like a bunch of little lyrics, and then I got home and I put it all together. My parents are we did a music video, and my parents are in the video for it. It's called Carolina Ghost.
The embers glowing orange, logs are stacked in the smoke, rises higher. And you're preaching to the choir when you say the rapids from the river couldn't drown this fire. And the leaves weren't the only thing falling. Stare out the window and wait. I watched it all play out in an instant. I wasn't afraid. Back road, I said shotgun and sang harmony beside her. From the Blue Ridge to the coast, the notes they float just like a ghost through Carolina. And the leaves weren't the only thing falling. Stare out the window and wait. Watched it all play out in an instant. I wasn't afraid. And I know now what's worth fighting for. I feel you in my bones. Feel to the brim and wanting more. A love I never know. We're on 40 East now, not much longer, babe. We'll be home soon. But honestly, you and me, we could be broke down and that'd be fine too. And the leaves weren't the only thing falling. Stare out the window and wait. I watched it all play out in an instant. I wasn't afraid. Wasn't afraid.
You weren't afraid, huh? That's like, it's nice, vaguely evocative, you know, that can bring a lot to mind.
It's true, and so rare that you feel that.
Yeah.
At least for me. And so it's kind of like a shocking realization. I was like, I don't often feel this way. I should probably go in fully. And so we've been married for 10 years this year.
Congratulations, and you're expecting a child.
I am. We're having a baby boy in July, so I'm super pumped.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
In July.
July, yeah.
New record in June and new baby in July. That's great planning there.
Well, I can tell you which one we didn't plan.
Right on. Well, it's a beautiful song and a beautiful dedication to your wife.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, she's amazing.
Yeah. She sounds like she's really supportive of what you're doing.
Sure is. Yeah. She was with me on the road full time for maybe 3 years leading into, and then when the pandemic happened, so we both, obviously I lost all my shows like everyone else, but she also lost all of her work because it was with me.
Right.
And so, thankfully, she started working. She works for a really cool record label called 30 Tigers out of Nashville.
Wow.
She's able to work remote, and so we're able to be close to our people in North Carolina, and I can tour out anywhere. So
yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're going Would you say you're going to Europe again soon, or
Next year? Next year, I'm gonna go. Yeah.
We were talking a lot about. Where were you in Sweden?
Yeah, Sweden. I tour a lot overseas. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Finland, Sweden, Norway, Netherlands, Spain.
How do you feel like the music translates? Like, I mean, do people pick up on what you're actually saying?
Yeah. I mean, especially
like in Sweden, I know they speak English.
Yeah,
a lot,
everyone.
Like Finland does not. I mean, or at least I wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not everyone, but certainly the younger generation. Everyone's, they're speaking better English than me. It's just the truth.
I know the Netherlands are like that too.
Yeah, they are as well. Yeah, but it's great. I mean, all the crowds are really respectful. It's like scenarios quite like this, where people are listening, and but it was a place where I learned how to like set up a song, and like I toured with people who set songs up, but I felt like it was especially important there, especially like spaces like Spain where there is a language barrier. It's like maybe setting up the song in like a pretty simple couple sentences ahead of it, just to kind of frame it up for people so they can kind of dive into the lyrics. And you just kind of
does your humor translate?
I don't know that translates here, so
see, you're funny.
I mean, it's I get it from my dad's really dry sense of humor, and unfortunately I think I get that from him, and it works on some people.
I was just curious if the language. I was wondered like if.
Yeah. I think it does. I don't know. They laugh, so.
Well, there you go.
I feel good at that.
That's a good sign, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Cool. Well, I've been enjoying your songs. If you'll tell us about the next song before you play it, that would be great.
Sure.
We're going to go to a break afterwards.
Sure. Yeah. I'm going to do one. It's the title track of my most recent album, which came out a couple years ago. And I know we're saying popular songs, but I do feel like it's been expected of me to play this song now for the last couple of years, and even a little bit before that I started playing it. And it's the first song I ever played on the Grand Ole Opry, so that's also a meaningful thing for a songwriter.
Let's talk just a little bit about the popular thing, because this comes up almost every episode. But one thing we haven't talked about, we talked about it a little bit earlier, is how you could have a song that's popular, your most popular song, for 20 years,
right,
and then it's no longer, something else comes along, or 5 other songs, are now more popular, but it was still your most popular song for 20 years.
I know.
It's what you're known for. And now suddenly you're on the Opry and there's other songs, right?
Yeah.
And so like your career changes, is what I'm trying to say.
It does. And you start, and it should happen for the right reasons too. It should happen because that song is replacing a song that isn't as good as that song.
That should
happen that way. And that's how this one happened. But
okay.
I rarely feel like pressure to play something that I'm not, if I think that there's a better set that can be done, then I usually gravitate towards that and hope that people come along with me when I do that kind of thing. But it's interesting, like even curating a set. It's like I'm trying to play something from like all the record, but I've done 7 records in 14 years as of this year, and so I have a lot to choose from. And you're trying to like just dip into each record a little bit and like play a few songs, or at least the ones that make sense in the set or whatever.
Yeah, as someone who's been writing songs for 30 years and teaching people how to write songs, I still don't know what makes them popular. It's such a weird thing. My most popular song is not, in my opinion, in the top 20 best songs that I wrote, but like people like it. Right. I like it, but what's the magic sauce that makes people go nuts for a song?
Well, I don't know, and I think that's why it's cool.
I mean, do you try to find that? I guess part of what I'm trying to ask is,
no, not at all.
I tried to redo that a couple times. I was like, I failed every time.
Yeah, I just assume when I go in, I'm like, if it moves me, chances are it will move the people that I'm like singing it to. That's the hope, and and so that's always served me well, and so I try to just get. I don't know another way, honestly. I think if I tried to do it, I would really mess things up.
Yeah, that's been my experience too, is the harder I try to do that thing, the worse I end up doing at the songwriting thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
But
I could see that.
But that's what this podcast is all about. So
yeah.
Isn't that weird?
It's interesting. I mean, what makes a song popular, and in modern times, it's like sometimes it's just because that was a single. It's like that was just it doesn't necessarily mean that I put 10 songs on a record and knowing full well that I'm going to hand the reins over to my radio person and just be like, you choose. Because like for me, I shouldn't be putting a song on a record that I'm not prepared to sing for the rest of my life in case that's the one that does that. And so that's like kind of always like, I need to make sure I'm good at singing this every night, And so, and then I just turn them over and I let other people make those types of decisions because
That's why you have a team, right?
Yeah, and I'm not good at that. I know my weaknesses there.
We kind of met because of Fred. His most popular song, whether he likes to admit it or not, is Trucker Speed.
For sure. Yeah.
But he was kind of sick for about 4 years, and I think he was shocked to find out that that's his most popular song because it happened right before, 2014 or 2015 or something. But in 2019, I think it went on to a TikTok thing where it got super, super famous. Yeah. And he was just like, 40 million people viewed my video.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like when you write in a kind of evergreen way that's, you're writing something that can really work at all times, like that song, it doesn't matter if somebody gets to it. Some of my favorite songs, it's like, I'm getting to them now. They were released in 1952, and it's just sort of like, like who knows how things happen. I believe it's like all connected, and it's all kind of intermingled, and you find it when you're supposed to find it. And if you're writing good enough tunes that last the test of time, then it doesn't really matter to me. Like if hopefully my songs outlast me by years and years and years, that would be like the goal, I think, for me.
I'd like to talk to you in the next set after the break about AI and some of those issues that we face.
Sure.
And so, but let's get this third song in, and then we'll do that.
Cool. All right. This one's called Sweet Critters. I rarely write a full song on tour, but I did it this time. And we named a record after it.
She collected feathers and little brass figurines. He'd split the wood and put vinegar on his screens. Harold, Lee, and Jerry Ann met so young, and they glowed on up until the curtains close, evergreen and growing, both born to really steal the show, dance until the light grows dim. She's a blue ribbon knitter, his ankle hurts when it rains. They're both sweet critters crossing the interstate. Over time they became one, like second-day soup, and they glow on up until the curtains close, evergreen and growing, both born to really steal the show, dance until the light grows dim. He's struggling with the stairs, she's so scared, but they glow on up until the curtains close, evergreen and growing, both born to really steal the show, dance until the light grows dim. Dance until the light grows dim.
All right, well, you hear in this podcast right when it launches, Friday, April 17th, we've got Chicago Farmer and the Field Notes here at the Effingham, Illinois VFW launching the Homemade album.
Yeah, he's got a new record out. It's really fantastic. Much groovier than the old Farmer records. I was kind of stunned when George Flexter over at the radio station played $13 beers, and it sounded like a freaking country record.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, you've really come a long way since those days. We should mention, though, also Terry Klein opened in that show, one of our former performers on the guest list.
Yeah, so come join us. The show kicks off at 7, doors at 6, and that's right here in Effingham at the VFW, Chicago Farmer, and the Field Notes, and Terry Klein.
It's restaurant week in Effingham, so you should stop and get some dinner in town. Got a bunch of great specials all over town.
All right, well, I'll be there, and you'll be there, and we're going to have a big time, but we've got some other stuff coming down the pipe that we should talk about.
We've had a ton of fun with the shows at the Starlight, and we've been kind of reconfiguring the room a little bit and making things work this way and that way, but we stuffed about 40 people in that room for the John Prine tribute night that we had, and hoping to get that many people for Tim Easton. Tim Easton is on tour, and he'll be out in Effingham at the Starlight Listening Room, 1915 South Banker Street, on Saturday, May 2nd. The show's at 7:30, so get your tickets. You can get your tickets at postmusicworks.com. Also coming up a little later in the summer, but I want to put it on people's radar because it'll sneak up on us since we're not making any more podcasts until then. Robbie Folks will be our first episode of next season. Very, very excited about that. And Robbie is going to be on August 10th, and that's currently scheduled for the Starlight Listening Room. It's possible that if we sell enough tickets, we might try to move it, but so far it's going to be there, and we'll stay tuned on that.
Awesome. Well, we've got tons more going on at postmusicworks.com. Big festivals, medium shows, small open mics, anything you want to come and check out, you can find the information on it at postmusicworks.com.
All right, let's get some more Caleb Caudle in our craw. All right, we're back with Caleb Caudle from North Carolina. What's your record label called?
Handplow Records.
Handplow Records. And you have a website probably?
CalebCaudle.com.
Man, that's easy.
So easy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and say the cool thing about going straight to my website is I don't have to give away fees to assholes.
Hey,
and,
all right. Nice.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you can get special variants of vinyl there. And I'll sign them myself. I'll write a little thank you note. I'll drop them off at the Germanton post office.
Man, that's real. That's real. Right
That's
there.
real, man. That's how I live my life.
Real vinyl with grooves.
Oh,
all
yeah.
Right. So, and that's kind of what this whole place is about that we have here, and we're trying to build kind of a living space where people can come and meet people like you and meet each other. And so we're sure glad you're here. Thank you very much for making us stop on your. You extended your tour by a day.
I did.
Today.
Thanks for allowing me to do so.
Yeah, I'm really glad to have you. All right, let's get that fourth song. Fourth
song. What do we got here? I wrote it down. Oh, all right. So I close most of our sets with this one. If you've seen me in the last, 5 years. This came out in 2020, but I was playing it maybe as early as 2019. It's called Monte Carlo. My grandfather, he had a 1970 Monte Carlo. It's the first year they made them, and I know that because he told me every time I got in it. And his was like a glitter green and had dark green leather roof, green leather seats. It's a very cool car. He had a little Batman hanging from the rear view. His name was Don. He was a very cool dude. So I wrote this song about throwing caution to the wind. It's called Monte Carlo. I usually always say in this moment, if anyone knows someone who has a 1970 Monte Carlo, I'll trade you a T-shirt for one.
Some days are just a circus and the freaks are late for work. Some days aren't even worth it and they only just exist to make you hurt. Some days, and some days are just a shadow of every day that's come before. Some days take away everything and then they still want more. Some days, well, had I known it'd get here, I I would have hoped that it would seem sincere. Now I'm driving through the Smoky Mountains in a Monte Carlo. Stop at a casino, bet it all on black. Some days are just a steeplechase and the waving of a flag. You lose by no sleep in your clothes, 'cause it's all that you have some days. Some days, throw both the gloves off and go punching through the night. The crowd throws roses to the ring at the end of the fight. Some days, well, had I known he'd get here, I would have hoped that it would seem sincere. Now I'm driving through the Smoky Mountains in a Monte Carlo. Stop at a casino, bet it all on black. Well, had I known he'd get here, I would have hoped that it would seem sincere. Now I'm driving through the Smoky Mountains in a Monte Carlo. Stop at a casino, bet it all on black. Bet it all on black. Bet it all on black, 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 black. Ooh, 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 ooh,
So we were talking earlier today about AI and the future of what you do and what we do too, I suppose. But I was really trying to get at the question of like, what does the future hold for art? And I realize AI is coming for everybody, but
Yeah.
but you know, besides like maybe like nurses, I think one
Yeah.
safe.
I think, honestly, I think artists are some of the safest.
You said that earlier.
Yeah, I believe that because I've heard AI and creating songs, and it's always really bad, and what it is it's your former intellectual property, right?
Right.
So as an artist, my job is to not retrace my steps, right? I'm supposed
Sure.
to be moving forward, and I'm supposed to sing songs about new things because I've went and I've earned those things to sing about. And so, I'm not worried for me about AI. I'm worried about the world because of it.
Right.
And because the data centers that are unfortunately thrown against our rural communities against our will, and we don't have a say in that. That's what I'm most worried about.
Right.
I went to, they're putting a data center in, or they're trying to, in the county where I'm from in North Carolina. And it was just, no one knew about this until like 2 days prior. They were like, oh, you can come down to the courthouse and talk about it. And like it's a small county. I mean, really, really small, not much. I mean, 800 and some people,
In the county.
more in the county, but in my town, there's like 600. And then in the whole county, I would say, I don't know, probably 2,500 maybe total.
Wow.
So it's
Holy cow.
small. It's like a mountain community, and people are pissed, like you've got people who have their own like 3 generations of family land, and it's, it's getting built in their backyard. And so, what was encouraging about it, honestly, was like I was looking around at the crowd outside of the courthouse, and they made us all stand out in the cold, and it was I think it was like 28 degrees that night, and they wouldn't let people in because it was they held the meeting in the smallest room possible, and that was by design, just so people would go home. But anyways, what was encouraging for me was I looked around at the 250 people from like my community, and nobody looked alike. Everyone was real upset, and it was cool to see people come together that don't typically come together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. Yeah, I know. I thought so too.
Well, I mean, it could be a thing that unifies people.
I think so.
I think people who aren't expecting to unify, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I thought maybe like me and a couple other tree hugger buddies were going to be like the only people down there. And it turns out it was just like everyone, like,
right.
Because they all love those woods and they all love those rivers and those, those mountains and,
the water.
Yeah. And I think, I just think that if you're doing anything like in the dark like that, where it's like the community's not really finding out about it till like a day or two before, it's kind of like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Like we all live here. We're the reason that you guys have jobs. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I am a little bit like you in that I'm still hopeful. Mm-hmm. I was going to reiterate my thought that I said earlier, which was that if AI has appropriated all the art in history of the world, at least that remains, mm-hmm. And is now regurgitating that to people on demand,
right?
Then why is copyright law still enforceable?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question.
It shouldn't be. It should just. I mean, I'm not saying I want it not to be. I'm just saying there's no basis for it. If that's what they're going to do, they're just going to take the art. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And there's people that are trying to
regulate.
And you had Aaron Lee Tashin on the show. I don't know if y'all talked about this, but
no, I wish I had because he's got a lot of thoughts on it.
And we share an entertainment lawyer, and he has a Substack, and he writes about AI and copyright law a lot. I mean,
give him a shout out. So
his name's John Strom. He was in a band called the Lemonheads.
Yeah, I remember him.
Blake Babies, and but John's real good mind for the business, and I think he's always trying to see like where it's going and trying to look out for artists. So he's been he's got a Substack, and I read it frequently just because I'm kind of fascinated. Because I just don't really understand it. I wish I did. I wish I had a better knowledge of it. But I don't feel worried for me. I do feel worried for people who've, dedicated their life to something and got really good at it, and then like a computer can take that. I mean, it should bother everyone. I mean,
yeah. Well, it bothers me. That's partly what I'm doing here. Yeah, this is like trying to put some roots in the community and say.
I think that's the thing. People are going to retreat to human. They're going to because like at some point we're all going to be super bored with everything sounding perfect, looking perfect. Yeah. I mean, I already am. I'm like, something looks and sounds perfect. I'm out.
Right. You want a 1970 Monte Carlo.
Exactly. I mean, it's like I just want, I want real flavor. The real stories and I think a lot.
AI has no stories.
No stories and no nuance.
Yeah.
That's the biggest bummer for me because I'm like, there's so many like, I write a lot in like these like morally gray spaces where, it's like desperate people doing desperate things, and it's like how are we judging those people by the same standards that we like judge a non-desperate person? And it's just like I don't know that AI has the capability of sorting through those types of feelings within. So
with compassion.
And just empathy. Like I don't think it has those kinds of things, and I think that's where good art comes from is empathy. I don't ever judge my characters in my songs, like they are just who they are, and it's just kind of like
you let them live.
Yeah, I mean, I've messed up so much in my life, so I'm like, who am I to like judge some like character that I'm writing? I try not to.
Have you ever read Philip K. Dick at all?
No.
He's a great science fiction writer from the 50s and 60s, I think. I'm not sure when he died, but this feels very much like a nightmare from a Philip K. Dick novel. It's like they were dumb enough to develop their own replacement.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
And then they were surprised when they had nothing to do.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's like it's confusing, and I think it's confusing because no one asked for it. Like no one asked for it.
Well, we didn't. Anyway,
and so then it's just like all of a sudden one day it's on your phone in a way that is normalizing it for the consumer. At least that's how I feel about it.
No, everybody gets every piece of information that they get. Almost everybody gets almost every piece of information they get through their phone, which is then owned by who?
Yeah,
the people who are feeding us AI. I mean,
It's strange. Yeah.
we're going to be programmed to like it. I'm not.
Not I. I'm going to go in the woods and turn my phone off.
Right?
That's kind of my move.
Anyway, if I sounded particularly bitchy about this tonight, I don't know. I just been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's on a lot of people's mind. I think like a lot of people don't really know how to even talk about it because, like I said, like it's just this new thing that like I see my parents and they're like, I see them struggling with it and just knowing what's real and what's not real, and it's just like, I catch myself every now and then. I'm just like, I was like, oh, that's cool. And like, wait a minute, like. But there's this weird. There's
dog like, just really do a backflip.
The one that really got me was like there was like some floods in the Texas hills, and there was like this AI thing with like Willie Nelson. He had like 6 fingers on one hand. Yeah. He was like carrying a like kitten through the flood. And it was just like Willie Nelson loves our country enough to catch this kitten. It's like, what the fuck?
Wow,
so weird. But like I don't know, man. I guess that's for some people though.
Well,
do you know about before we move on, do you know about the dead internet theory? Are we getting to?
No, tell me. That sounds exciting.
Yeah. So do you guys know about the dead internet theory? You've heard of this? Okay. So I think we've already passed it, but apparently there's more bots than humans at this point.
Oh.
And so a lot of like, a lot of things we see, or like the population, it's like you're seeing like, something that's been like bumped through the algorithm by bots. And so it's really tricky. It's like really tricky because like, I don't know what to do with all that because it's first time. And I think like everyone sort of feels that way. Like, I don't know what to do with this, but I don't like it.
That does seem ominous.
Yeah. It's just kind of got this feel about it that just feels like non-human and not good because of that. Like there's, I don't know. Yeah. It's weird.
Well, thanks for that nightmare.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I wasn't pissed off enough already.
No, I mean, things are great outside. Gas is cheap, baby.
No, it's not.
I know.
Well, hey, I've enjoyed having you here. Thank you so much, as I said, for coming on our little podcast. And I hope everyone will spread the word about Caleb Caudle. And,
do it.
CalebCaudle.com. Easy peasy.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. Thank you for being here.
We'll take us out with one more.
Okay. I'll do, they give you 2 songs on Opry. I'll do the second one I played that night. And it's also come to be a song that people expect me to play. When it came out in 2024.
Here's a weird, can I ask a weird question? Not weird, but like, don't worry. When you get an opportunity to play on a stage like that, and then you play a song, is there a possibility that just that exposure alone to the song makes it a popular song?
Well, it attaches me to it big time.
Attaches you to it?
Yeah,
Well, okay,
big
yeah,
time. Because like you have like guitars that I'm attached to because I wrote a song on them. So it's like you just have these. I mean, I don't know. I have these weird like I get sentimental. I'm nostalgic. So yeah. I mean, I think that if you're on a big stage like that and you get to play, certain songs, I think those become somehow more important to you than even before. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that, but
I guess also
sense.
you're not going to go out on the Opry and play songs you don't think people are going to like. So.
Right. Yeah, I tried to choose wisely, and
well done.
Yeah. So this one's called Knee Deep Blues, and I put it out in 2024. And I got a text. I was playing this really weird show on the coast in North Carolina, and it was so hot. It was like 95 degrees and like so humid there, and there was no like shelter. And I was like miserable. And then I got a text from my manager, and he said the New York Times said this was one of the best songs of the year. And so that was a good text to get in that moment. I know. It's crazy. I feel like such a bumpkin, and having like that happen is pretty funny to me. Because it's not when I wrote it, I didn't feel good about anything, so that's why I wrote it. I was trying to dig myself out of a hole, and I'm happy that other people have to dig themselves out of holes too. So it seems like that's why it connects. But anyways, it's called Knee Deep Blues.
Demons pile up, sing a ballad to an empty room. poison in the cup. Cursed the night in the light of a scarlet moon. I fell down the stairs like a bucket of rusty nails. I ran out of breath, the bloodhounds on my trail, darker than a premonition. Black feathers in the kitchen. Well, I don't wanna think like that. 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 Fell in a fiery lake. I can't handle the evening news. Dug a shallow grave. Now I'm standing here knee deep in the blues. I saw birds of prey circling the drain for blood. I roam 90 miles through thick dark delta mud, choking on the siren's perfume. Copperhead loose in the bedroom. Well, I don't wanna think like that. I don't wanna think like that. I don't wanna think like that. No, no, I don't wanna think like that. 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 I don't wanna think like that.
Caleb Caudle.
Well, Bill, we've had a long, winding road here on season 4. We started with the local honeys live at Summer Sundown.
That was great.
Oh, we had Sarah Beatty. We had Alex Taylor.
We had Hope Dunbar was amazing.
Yeah, too many to list off the top of our heads, but
Yeah, Hunter
go
Peebles. Yeah.
check out season 4. It was a hoot, and we got stronger. We got more oomph behind the show now, and we really thank our listeners for stepping up and
Yeah.
making it what it is.
Yeah, people are listening, and this is the last episode of the season. Please take an opportunity to like, share. What do you do, Garrett?
Subscribe.
Subscribe,
That's
of course.
the one.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, listening is a big part of it. So thanks for coming.
You can follow us on the guest list presented by Pos Music Works podcast fan group on Facebook. We throw a lot of updates there. And we look forward to seeing you in season 5. And we'll see you at Moccasin Creek and Summer Sundown and everything else before that.
Yeah, go to the website if you want to know what we're doing, posmusicworks.com, and we'll let you know.
Thank you guys, and we'll see you next season.